Hi, this is Jason the Young Chef, and today we're going to be making pancakes, and near the end I'm going to show you how to make them into Valentine's Day pancakes. Okay, so the first step in making the batter for the pancakes is combining the dry ingredients. Here I have 2½ cups of flour, okay, and you want to add, always check your recipe to make sure you have the right amounts. 2 tablespoons of kosher salt. You can use normal salt too if you don't have any. And 3 tablespoons of sugar. Make sure you don't get tablespoons and teaspoons mixed up. They're almost the same thing, but there is a difference. And 1 tablespoon of baking powder. And 1 tablespoon of baking soda. You do need both. It makes a difference. Okay, so you just want to take a whisk and mix those up. You can use a fork too if you don't have one. Just make sure it's really good combined, because you don't want it to be lumpy. Okay, now that we have all our dry ingredients combined, set them to the side. And let's get our wet ingredients ready. So, you want to take 2½ cups of buttermilk, not normal milk, buttermilk, 1 stick of unsalted butter, and 2 egg yolks. You combine them. The butter might be a little bit sticky, but you always have utensils to use. Make sure you get all of it. Okay, then you want to whisk that together too. And you want to use your whisk and kind of break the butter up by just stirring it. And if your butter is stuck inside your whisk, you can just kind of use your hands and get it out. And wash your hands later. Always wash your hands before cooking. It's a very important thing. Always wash your hands. Okay. Now we're gonna combine our wet ingredients and our dry ingredients. Okay. So, but first, let's give our butter a minute to melt. Now that I've given that a minute or two, we want to combine our wet ingredients and our dry ingredients. So, you just want to pour your wet ingredients into your dry ingredients. Slowly, make sure you get everything. Because we're trying to be exact with this. Be really careful when you're measuring. You want to whisk that together. Almost done now, and I want to make a point of this because it's very, very important. Do not overmix your batter. When your parents have made pancakes before, they might say make sure to get all the little lumps out, but it's actually better if you don't get all the tiny little lumps out. And also, my batter is a tiny bit thick, but that's okay, because you want to put your 2 egg whites in gradually. You pour a little bit and mix it. Get a little bit more and mix it. And just a little bit more. And mix it all up. That should make sure your batter is nice and liquidy, but not too thin, to where the pancakes will be super thin, because we want pancakes to be light and fluffy. So just make sure you get everything mixed into here. And then you want to let your batter rest for about 20 minutes. So now that you've let your batter rest for 15 minutes, it's time to make the pancakes. So, you want to put a tablespoon of butter in your pan and put it on medium heat. And you want to wait for your butter to melt. And then, when it's melted, you can start your pancakes. Turn it down to medium-low to make them. Okay, now that my butter started to melt, the technique for, you really want to coat the bottom of the pan. So you just want to kind of grab your pan and swirl it around. That way it'll be enough. And whenever your pan's coated, that's enough. Don't do any more. You can put the rest of the butter on top of your pancakes or throw it away. Now we have that, let's turn our skillet down to medium-low. And get ready to make some pancakes. So, you want to take your batter and pour it down, and you can make your pancakes as big or as small as you want them to be. Now, this batter is pretty thick, so it's going to make some really light and airy pancakes. You want to swirl it around so it's even. They might not be the best looking in the world, but they're going to be the best tasting. And actually, this batter might be a tad bit thick. But when you're cooking, you can always improvise. So, I'm going to take it over here, and add just a tiny bit of water. That should be enough. Then, you want to mix your water in. Remember, don't do it too much. Okay. Now, you're gonna let the pancake cook until it starts to get really bubbly. And this shouldn't take more than about 2-3 minutes. And don't worry about the shape, because since it's Valentine's Day, this is a special. And we are going to use a heart-shaped cookie cutter and stamp them out into hearts when they're all done cooking. So, just want to wait until you see a whole bunch of bubbles. And then you want to take a plastic spatula and flip it. Just going to go under it and flip it. I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so now, as you can see, there are a few bubbles coming up from our batter, which means it's time to flip. Okay, so remember, the first pancake never comes out right. So, I'm going to take this, and just kind of slide it under. Check. And actually, this isn't cooked quite enough. That's why I always check before you try to flip it, and you have batter going everywhere. See? So, just keep on waiting for it to cook. It's looking good. Like a good pancake. I wonder why they're called pancakes. Have you ever wondered why they're called pancakes? I'm gonna let you know, you cannot use this as a cake batter, okay? This is not cake. It's a completely different thing. You cannot use this for cake batter. I have no idea why it's called that. It's called honestly, I can't think of a better word than cake. Okay. Well, let's get ready to flip. I think it's good now. Slide it under, make sure it's not sticking at all, and then flip it over. Look at that. Perfect. Now you might want it to be browned a little bit more than that. So when the other side gets going, then you can flip it again. Look at that puff up. That's a really good sign. That means you're gonna have some really light and airy pancakes. You've got to let them cook all the way through, because if you turn the heat up too high and it's brown, you flip it and you have a nice thick pancake batter like this, chances are your pancakes are probably going to still have batter on the inside, which nobody likes. It's not good. No batter allowed inside these. They're made of it, but it has to be cooked fully, especially since it has raw egg in it, because raw egg's not really that good for you. So you just want to get it until it's a nice brown color. So this one's looking good. The first pancake usually don't turn out the best, but this is the first take we've done with this, and it's turning out fine. So look at that color. That's about what you're going for. A little bit more cooked. Now this is a little bit too thick of a batter. That's why I put a little bit of water in it. The next pancake will be better than this one. Trust me. It'll be a lot better. So, if it's not cooking well, you can pat it down like that. That is the color you're going for. So, I think this will be the one we do on the bottom, because it's not looking that well. Because I think we're going to do a pancake stack, which is where you put multiple pancakes on top of each other. Stack. Okay. So, I think we're going to do a 2 pancake stack, and this will be perfect for the bottom. The other one will turn out a little bit more picture perfect. So you just want to slide it onto your pan. And make sure that the batter's a good consistency. Mine's still a little bit thick. Always adjust when cooking, because nothing's going to turn out perfect. Same thing. And be very careful when you're pouring your batter. And you want it to be about that size. So, now, you just wait on it to cook. And you want picture perfect pancakes. And I think on this one, I'm going to put some chocolate chips in it. So, with your chocolate chips, you just take and you kind of sprinkle them all in it. Not into the batter once you've already put the pancake in. And that is going to make it a gooey and creamy and chocolatey pancake, which is always a good thing. Make sure you get them spread over everywhere nice and evenly. It's going to make it a good creamy chocolatey pancake. And you can use anything. You can use blueberries for them. You can even crush up little cookies and put them in. Whatever. And same thing. Just wait for bubbles and flip. Okay, now that we've given that some time, it's time to flip. Be very careful. Slide your spatula onto to check first. Like these still need a little bit more time, not much, because when pancakes get going, they go fast. Look at all that chocolate melting. It's going to be perfect. Okay, now that we've given a little bit more time, we'll check it again. Always check. Still a little bit more time. This is a very thick batter, so it's going to take some time to cook. But be patient and don't turn up the heat too high, okay? Got it. Alright. So, just wait and be patient. Don't touch the batter. It's very bad. It will hurt you. And don't attempt anything you see on this video without an adult with you, okay? Do not. Okay, now it should be about ready to flip. So, slide it under and flip. Look, it's perfect. And you can't smell, but it smells like chocolate, which is always a good thing. This is going to be the perfect one to go on top of the pancake stack, because it's got a perfect color, and it's nice and smooth. So, the other side usually don't take nearly as long as the first side. So, just want to take, slide it under, flip, just cook, make sure everything gets cooked in the pancake. Because you want it to have everything perfect. These are really going to be really good pancakes. I've tested this recipe before, and it turns out great. The pancake's flavor is on point. It's got the perfect thickness. Okay. Now I've given it a little bit more time to cook, and it's about done. Just checking it. Okay. Now I'm gonna set it on top of my pancake stack. Okay. When you're done, turn your heat off. So you want to take a heart-shaped cookie cutter, press down, cut out a heart shape in them. You can eat the excess batter, but since this is for Valentine's Day, we're trying to make it look as nice as possible. Okay, so now that it looks like a heart, I'm going to put some strawberries on the middle. And we're going to put some whipped cream on the outside too. Cover it in whipped cream, I guess. Put some strawberries on it. Look at that. It's perfect for Valentine's Day. And we're just gonna take this and put it on it again. And serve it like this. Of course, they won't eat the plastic, but that'll keep it in perfect shape. Okay, so this has been the Young Chef, and I've taught you how to make the perfect pancake.